Hello, everyone, and welcome to UticaTV Game Day with the 4Js. I'm your host, James Brown. Joined alongside me, the great Jeremy Horowitz, the amazing Justin Notar, and the phenomenal Jack Rathburn. We're here on site for the semifinals of the Empire 8 tournament, men's basketball. We've got the Utica Pioneers playing host to the Nazareth Golden Flyers. Fellas, how are we feeling about this matchup?
Well, to start things off, I'm a little offended. I'm only great, and these guys are amazing and phenomenal. We're going to have to work on that for the next show. But no, I'm really excited. I mean, we talked about it for the past couple weeks. Jack and I were on the call last time these two teams met up at this court. It was a wild ride. We had Nazareth go up 20-plus points at halftime, go up 26 at a point in the second half. But Utica scratched and clawed their way back into the game, ended up winning in overtime. And it also helped out that guys like Iggy Ezebo and Devin Flynn helped this team afloat. And at the second half, at the break, Dayon Thompson came alive and helped get this team a win when it mattered the most.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch this one. I mean, obviously, Houghton was a really fun game to watch. Pioneers were able to pretty comfortably take that one, but Nazareth is not going to be a joke. It's going to be a really tough team. I know we've got a couple players coming over to talk to them really quick, so I'm excited to get an inside scoop from Neruda and our boy Iggy.
Yeah, we've got a couple big treat for you guys here. We got two players from the men's basketball team, Neruda Perdomo and Iggy Ezebo, coming on set with us now. Neruda, how are we doing? All right. We got Iggy too, Iggy Ezebo here. All right, Neruda. So how are you feeling about this matchup, and as a season as a whole, how do you feel it's gone so far?
The season's been a long ride, man. It's been really exciting game tonight. It's going to be a great game with two high-level teams, so it's a really exciting night tonight.
And, just a question for both of you. How big is it that you guys got the home court advantage for a game like this? Obviously, Nazareth kind of becoming a rival over the last couple of years. How big is it to have home court for a game like this?
In my perspective, I feel like this is a big game for us. We got a home crowd with us, and like every time we play here, we always perform. So hopefully we do that today.
And Iggy, I had a question for you. You had an amazing game, one of your best games all season versus Nazareth last time around. What are you looking to do in this one here?
I'm looking to do the same thing, even better and harder, and yeah, just come out with the win.
And what's the mentality going into a playoff game like this? Like, what's the difference between a regular season game and a game like this?
Just follow the coach's game plan, play hard, have fun, and that's all it is at the end of the day.
All right, fellas. Yeah, I know you guys got to get going. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Congrats. Good luck tonight. All right, well, there it was, Neruda Perdomo and Iggy Ezebo. That was awesome to get them here on here. Sound like they're locked in. And let's just talk about both teams' season as a whole. Nazareth finishing 19-7, had a couple of tough stretches, but they finished really strong, and they got a big win versus Russell Sage.
Yeah, this team is amazing, and they're led by one of the best players in the country. One of the best players in the conference. And forget about conference. I think you said it. He's one of the top scorers in the country, and this is a team that's a different story on the road versus at home. They're a lot better at home, and obviously it's hard coming in here playing at Mega Court. Expect a good game, and this is going to be a battle, and as a fan, I can't wait.
Yeah, Justin, before we went live, you brought up Savage, I believe, was 9 for 27 from the field last time out, and a guy who can pretty much score at will. You're expecting him to have a much better performance tonight, and even with him going 9 for 27, they were up huge in that game against the Pioneers last time here at Mega Court. But again, Dayon Thompson did struggle, so I'm thinking we see both these teams' best players come out and play like these two teams' best players tonight. I think, I know last time we had the bench guys kind of determine the outcome of this one, but tonight I think it's going to be our best versus their best. Dayon Thompson versus Jalen Savage, and whoever can carry their team and get them the one extra play that can get them over the hump tonight, I think that is what determines this one.
I think it's going to come down to the Pioneers to take advantage of the opportunities they're given. Obviously, Nazareth is an offensive-heavy team. We talked about Jalen Savage. I know you were talking about him. One of the best players in the country, averaging, I think, over 20 points easily. I think he's top 50 in points per game. So it's going to come down to the Pioneers taking advantage of the opportunities that they're given and not, wasting those. They're going to need to take advantage of those second chance, even third chance opportunities, because obviously defense is going to be where they're going to struggle in this one.
Well, I think with the Pioneers, too, one thing's going to be, they only shot 25% from three last time around versus a team that had a great perimeter defense in Houghton. But they're playing a team that's also got great defenders, guys like Solomon McFarland as well as Jalen Savage in the front court. They're going to give these guys a lot of trouble, and they're going to have to shoot the ball a lot better. And another question mark is how good Tegan Foley's shoulder is going to be. If he can shoot at that 58% mark, which is second all time, like he did last season, and excel in that point, they can have a lot of success. But we'll see if they do that.
Well, another thing I want to talk about is kind of the student section. We talked about it last game, the last game that Pioneers played here, kind of energy that like the herd and the Utica student section brings. Solomon McFarland was going at it with the Pioneer student section in the last game, the last meeting. So I think that might even play a factor, kind of the vibes and the energy that the Pioneers and both benches are able to bring.
Yeah, and we saw Solomon come out here earlier for warm-ups in a black wife beater, black tank top. Had his AirPods in, and I'm telling you, I think he may have missed 3 shots. So McFarland's going to be playing the villain role really, really nice tonight. We saw him, like you mentioned, taunt the crowd last time out. I really think he's in for a big one tonight, and I think the Pioneers are going to have to throw all the stops at him and Jalen Savage if they want a chance to come out with this one tonight.
Yeah, McFarland's a guy, too, that averages just, I think, like 8 points a game, but he hit 5 threes last time here at Mega Court. And that's an interesting matchup, him versus the crowd, along with just the first half team in general. You mentioned how they were down 20 points going into half. This is a playoff game, different atmosphere. I can't see this being a blowout at all. I think this is going to be a tight game throughout, and I'm excited.
The student section, I think, got to him, though, because he hit a bunch of threes in the last game, but then second half, you didn't really hear from him at all. Like, it kind of like that kind of back and forth he had going, I think, got to him, and he kind of went quiet in the second half.
Yeah, I think he hit his first, 2 or 3 shots from the field, all those being 3-pointers, and he kept pointing at the crowd, doing a little Macau Bridges celebration, maybe some Jalen Brunson threes to the face celebration. Once he missed his first 3, Mike Malzahn and the rest of the herd, they got on him really hard, and he didn't have the second half we expected him to have, Jack. Through all the call, we kind of thought he disappeared a little bit. But again, I want to go back to Dayon Thompson. I think he really is such a big factor in tonight's game because even the last game, he went 2 for 9 from the field. He ended up dropping 14 points, but 9 of those were from the free throw line, from the charity stripe. And Dayon has kind of struggled in the past couple weeks, not doing the type of thing that we know Dayon Thompson is capable of doing. I think he has to come out strong tonight, lead the charge, and just has to hit his open shots. We saw it last time out. He missed a couple open ones. If he's open from anywhere on the court, you got to expect him to shoot it, and you have to hope it goes in for him tonight.
Well, we talked a little bit about, we've covered a lot of key players, but let's just go around here and let's give key player from each team that you guys think are going to make a big impact in this game. Starting with you, Jack.
I'm going to take Solomon McFarland. I mean, I think the energy is kind of one of the biggest things that happens in Mega Court. The herd is like a really big, I mean, especially at D3 level, if you have a student section like the herd, that's a scary thing to come into. And I think we saw it play a factor in the last game. So I think Solomon McFarland's going to be, if nothing else, might not be on the stats sheet, but I think it'll play an impact in kind of the culture around the game. And then for the Pioneers, I'm between a couple of guys. Jeremy, I know you and I were talking about Hagan Foley kind of making a big statement game here, but I gotta have to go with Damian Call. I mean, he's had an incredible season, and then end of the regular season, he went on a hot streak, a couple of double-doubles, another good game. I think he put up 14 points against Houghton over the weekend, so I'm going to take Damian Call and Solomon McFarland for my 2 guys.
Yeah, I like those picks right there. Thought about taking Call myself too, but I think on the Pioneer side of things, I'm going to go with a guy that I think really needs to make a statement tonight, and that's Jordan Kane. I think Kane is a great perimeter defender, second in the team in steals, and he's a guy who's a freshman. He got his first tournament game under his belt, didn't have the best game last week, but he's a guy that's been quiet the last couple of games, hasn't really done too much on the scoring side of things, but I think Kane's in for a big game. I think if the Pioneers are going to get a win, they're going to need him and Thompson to play well on the perimeter. They're going to have to contain one of my key guys that I'll say in a few moments, but I think if Kane can bring that defense that he's brung all season and stop with those kind of crazy shots that he likes to take. This is a guy that a year ago was still playing high school basketball. He's a guy who's still learning, but I think he's got a full season under his belt, a tournament game under his belt. I think that we got a ball over here.
I want to shoot it.
But I think that he's a guy that's going to be due for a big game. And on the Nazareth side of things, I'm going to go with Luke Inslee. He's a guy that's got 176 assists on the season. He's going to have to facilitate, and he's going to have to deal with the pressure that the Pioneers are going to bring. This is a Pioneer team that forces opponents to 12 turnovers. When you look at the Nazareth side of things, they only turn the ball over 8 times. That's one of the best in the whole country if you look at it. 8 turnovers a game is a great margin. So I think the Pioneers, they're going to have to try and force turnovers, and Inslee's going to have to stay calm, cool, collected, stay cool under the storm, and I think if he can do that, Nazareth can get a win as well.
Yeah, and obviously it's an equation here. When you have a point guard over 170 assists, that is a good equation for only 8 turnovers a game. And I hate to be boring, but my key player for Nazareth is Jalen Savage, and it's for a reason. 9 for 27, as we said. First game here at Mega Court prior in the season. He's going to take close to 27 shots yet again tonight, but he's going to make more than 9. And that's big-time players show up in big-time games, and they were down 17 at one point, Nazareth was, against Sage last week. I can promise you they won't be down 17 today. It's going to be a hard-fought game. And then for Utica, I like Call and I like Jordan Kane. I was actually going to take Jordan Kane, but now that you took it, I'll take someone else. I'm going to go Hagen Foley. Just 1 for 4 from 3 last game, and he's one of, if not their best three-point shooters on this team. And you mentioned the shoulder injury last week, and it might have affected him in that game against Houghton, just making 1 3-point attempt. Need him to get going from behind the arc and to keep up with this Houghton offense. Nazareth offense.
Well, now I really wish I went first because Noto took both of my picks. But before I get into it, I don't know what happened to the aux. The music has completely switched to vibe in this gym. Not sure what's going on here at Utica Court, but I think Jalen Savage is the right pick. I mean, going 9 for 27 last time out in a huge conference game, which determined the seeding, especially for the Pioneers, they end up getting the 2 seed in the Empire 8 tournament. I think Jalen Savage has to do Jalen Savage type things with a name like that. How do you not go out and ball out and
really
do it
cool
again?
name.
Me and Jack were talking.
I think we talk about it every single time.
That is on my all-time name team. Shout out Connor Hughes,
Yeah, it really
New York
is.
Jet beat writer. He has an all-time name team. Jordan Savage is he's in my starting 5
He's a
all-time name team.
first-round
Such a
draft
sick
pick.
name. But I mean, he's going to shoot. No, you said it the best. He's going to take a lot of shots. He may take 30-plus shots. This is a must-win game. Do or die game. Empire 8 Conference Championship Tournament. Jalen Savage has to be the guy tonight for Nazareth. And on the Utica side, I said it before we went on there, I think tonight's the Hagen Foley game. I know he has the tape still on his left shoulder. He hurt that game in the last regular season game against SUNY Poly. I don't care. Foley didn't have his best performance last game. Really couldn't go left. I think they have him spot up in the corner. They run a lot of off-ball screens for him. And whoever has the ball in their hands, they drive and dish to Foley in the corner. And when that guy has just a little bit of space, you know what's going on. You might as well jog back on defense. So I think tonight is the Hagen Foley game. You heard it here first. Go Utica. Shout out Hagen Foley. And I hope that shoulder heals up nicely for him.
All right, well, now that we've given our key players, it's everybody at home's favorite segment. It's time to give our predictions. Let's start it off. Jeremy, since you went last for our key players, I'll let you go first for the predictions. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's nice I finally get a compliment on the show. I'm almost halfway done with the thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm holding mini tracks yet again. Still only one eye. Thank you, James Brown, for almost murdering my good friend over
I
here.
tried to patch him up. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no, you didn't. But listen, Utica Court, it's going to be an electric atmosphere, and we have 2 of our very own best friends in the crowd right now, that being Gavin Gretchen, Nick Phillips. They keep staring at us. They're smiling, having a good time. They're going to be part of the herd tonight, and I think the herd really shows out. I believe it's a whiteout tonight here at Utica Court, and it's gonna be like Penn State. It's going to be like Drew Allers taking snaps under center, and the Utica Pioneers are going to come out. They're going to hit their threes. They're not going to go down at half. They're not going to go down big. They're not going to have to mount a huge comeback like they did last time. Again, it is the Hagen Foley game tonight. He's dropping 20-plus. He's hitting 4+ threes. And the Pioneers get it done today. They move past Nazareth. Jalen Savage and that group goes home. They get on the bus early night, and the Pioneers move on yet again.
I mean, wow, that was unbelievable. But this is going to be a 2-point game going into half. I think it's going to come down the stretch.
Who has the lead at half then?
I think Utica will have the lead. 2 points at half. It's going to be a close game throughout the entire time. And I think down the stretch, maybe it's a different story if this is in Nazareth, but this is right home, right where the Pioneers want them. I'm going to take the Pioneers here at home. And I think what it's going to come down to is who has better point guard play. And I spoke to Dayon Thompson before the season, and I know I keep mentioning this, but he wants to go deep in the NCAA tournament. Empire 8 is just part of an expectation for him. They're going to go deep, and it all starts tonight too, and he's going to lead his team down the stretch. Damian Cole doesn't want this to be his last game, and he's going to have a big game tonight as well. I'll take the Pioneers right here at Utica Court.
Well, I made the mistake of not taking Utica last week. And I'm sorry, I'm doing it again, guys.
Keep mini tracks away from you.
I'm taking the Nazareth Golden Flyers. I am taking the Nazareth Golden Flyers. For those of you that watch the Real 4J show, you know my record is the worst. But I'm going to make a statement now, right here. And I am going to take the Nazareth Golden Flyers. This is a team that does not turn over the ball. Coach Sean Coffey's team relies on turnovers. This is a team that they're not going to be able to force a lot of turnovers. They're going to have to shoot the ball well from beyond the arc. And they didn't prove it last week, shooting 25%. I think Nazareth, they're going to come out with some heart. They know what happened here last year on Utica Court. When they lost that championship game, they know how that felt. A lot of players coming back. Remember how that felt? This is a very team that's been together, been through those losses versus Utica. They don't want to see another one here in the playoffs. I'm taking Nazareth.
You're the fade god, bro.
I mean, I've got to be the long-weighted opinion. If we're talking about JB's record, I've got the best record. So I'm like the coveted opinion here. I'm taking the Pioneers. There's no doubt about it. I'm sorry, JB. You want to be different so bad, just like you always do.
I really do. That's my dream in life.
Every single person, even the one not on the show, gave a sigh when you picked Nazareth. That's the Pioneers. I think it'll be closer. I'm going to take the Pioneers. I think they will be losing going into half, though. But I think, like we've seen Damian call, he wants it a little bit more. This is his last kind of hurrah with the Pioneers. So I think they'll be losing going into half. But I think something will turn around in the second half. Coach Sean Coffey's going to have something to say. Pioneers are going to come out on top.
Well, before we wrap it up, just I would like to say my senior quote in high school was, "You can't change the world by being just like it," and that's what I live my life by. That's what I'm living my life by right
That's
now.
cold. That's cold.
Guess who said it?
You're horrible at predicting sports.
Guess who said that
means
quote?
nothing.
Guess who said that quote?
Who's that?
The greatest of all time, Travis Scott. All right, well, thank you folks for tuning in to this episode of Utica TV Game Day with the 4Js. We're going to be here. Don't go anywhere. Tune in on UticaPioneers.com and WPNR to listen to this game. You don't want to miss it. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank God.